Got the grinder mentality. I grind for the feeling. I'm a real ass nigga. These niggas, they counterfeit it. Staying true to my religion. They thinking that I'm a Christian. Mama thinking I'm a villain, but I'm expressing my feelings.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Rich Mentality Podcast. How y'all doing, man? What's good? It's good to always hear from my good people. Good to always see y'all. You know, man, and we literally just working to sun up to sun down. Literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what's going on. When y'all see me, y'all are seeing me come from long days of work, right? Working for myself, of course. A long day of just, constantly creation, man. Constantly doing things for myself, of course, to take care of my responsibilities. But not only that, but putting myself in a better position. And that's my whole goal for you guys. You know, my whole ulterior motive. Like, I want to be able to inspire and motivate someone to keep that rich mentality, but understand that it doesn't stop at your job, right? It doesn't stop for, or at the things that you're doing to take care of your responsibilities. It doesn't stop right there, right? It stops when you die, and I know it sounds harsh, but I feel that we all should die empty. Right. So, I wanted to kind of start it off, man. I want y'all to stay motivated, stay inspired, keep going, and I do want to mention this before I get, into the introduction of things. But when you are going, right, when you are going and you start becoming successful at that thing that you're going at, or that particular thing that you're doing, people are going to see it and they're going to copy it. People are going to see it and they're gonna wish for your results. They're going to try to do the same thing that you're doing to try to get your same results. And unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way, right? What happens is they end up trying to do exactly what you're doing, and it doesn't work. Right. I believe success do leave clues. I believe that you do follow people's blueprint, but you have to do it your way. Right. You have to do it your way. Like, if you see someone else trying to be Jay-Z, he's not going to be successful. If you see someone else trying to be Dr. Miles Monroe, they're not going to be successful. If you see somebody trying to be exactly like NBA YoungBoy, they're not going to be successful. It works with any particular industry. Right. So what I'm saying to y'all is, whatever y'all are doing, don't plagiarize. It's a difference in between being inspired and plagiarism, right? If you go back to school, you got in trouble for plagiarism. You know what I'm saying? You got in trouble. You got in trouble for copying someone else's work. So that's the same thing in this particular industry, or any industry that you're in. Be inspired, but don't plagiarize, right? I just had to say that was on my mind. But before I get into the podcast, man, how y'all been doing, man? Drop in the comments. Let me know what's been going on. Drop in the comments. Let me know if y'all got any new, books, courses, anything that can help somebody get some money. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's the whole thing, man. We all are not necessarily struggling, but we all are grinding to get to the top. You know what I'm saying? We all are grinding to get to the top. It's so crowded at the bottom, right? Man, I do want to mention this, and for me, I'm always speaking about rich mentality this, rich mentality that, but I must say gas prices are crazy. Gas prices are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, gas is almost $5. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where y'all are located. I'm sure I got people tuned in all around the world, but I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia, and gas is like almost $5 out here. It's like $4.30, $4.40. That's 60 cents from all, So with that being said, man, try y'all best to be conservative, whether y'all are using Upside or some type of app that can help you get cash back, from putting in gas. So if you're spending $50 on gas, maybe you can get $10 back, and really you're spending like $40. But try to be conservative as possible. That's another form of keeping that rich mentality. Like, I had to mention that gas is crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna let gas stop us. We're not gonna let Biden stop us. We're not gonna let the Ukrainian war stop us, even though it does affect us. We're not gonna let these things stop us, man. These things stop us. We got to keep going. We got to stay persistent. We got to stay consistent, and we got to persevere. And most importantly, we got to endure. Right? When you utilize endurance, man, you putting yourself in the position to get through it. The race is not to the swift, the race is not to the strong, but it's to the one who endures through the end, right? Meaning that you can be fast as you want to be, but if you're not a person who endures, you're not going to win. You can be as strong as you want to be, but if you're not a person who can fight through the end, you're not going to win. So remember that. You know what I'm saying? I do want to mention to y'all, man. Number one, if you came from TikTok, I appreciate you. If you support me on TikTok, thank you so much, because we are now at 44,000. I think we have like 45,000, but that's immaculate. Being that I started this TikTok page, April the 10th. So we are in May, June. So in 2 months, man, 2 months, we are at we're at 45,000. So that's big, that's major. I want to give y'all the utmost respect, the utmost honor. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. Thank y'all so much for actually tuning into my content. And I want to be able to not only bring that crowd, but also transmute that same type of information and content. Like, so we talking about it all on my TikTok, you know what I'm saying? But on this podcast, I want to be able to educate too, as well as motivate you, because it's one thing to motivate someone, and that's a great thing because it helps with their mindset shift. But it's another thing when you're educating someone, whether you're educating someone on how to build a better financial literacy life, or helping someone write a book so they can sell that book and monetize it, teaching someone how to grow their social media platform to turn that into a bank, like all these different type of things that can actually be an asset in the future. So that's my thing when it comes to this podcast. And it's very similar on my TikTok. I just think that I connect with the masses, on my TikTok, but I want to transmute that and be able to educate y'all in the right way. So with that being said, man, everybody tune in, because today we definitely gonna be talking about and speaking about 20 signs of a genius. A lot of y'all are geniuses. A lot of us are geniuses, but we don't really believe in ourselves. We don't really believe that we are geniuses. And I'm here to tell you, you are a genius, right? And I want to start it out with this particular quote. A genius finds its own road and carries its own lamp. Right? I'm gonna say that one more time. A genius finds its own road and carries its own lamp. What does that mean? What does that mean? So what I'm saying is that, okay, a genius don't follow nobody. A genius is a leader. A genius discovers, oh, does this work? Does this not? Right? A genius know exactly how to persevere. Right? They utilize their volition, their willpower. They don't go over where they say, oh, it's okay over there, or they say it's okay over here. No, I'm a genius, so I'm going to utilize the genius that's in me. A lot of people don't trust themselves. A lot of people don't trust, the power and the genius level talent that they have in themselves, because we all were blessed with it. I was listening to Jay-Z one day, and he said that I don't believe in no chosen ones. I don't think that there's no particular person that God said, here, this is what I'm going to give to you. No. And I concur. I believe that there's no chosen ones. The chosen ones are the people who only stay consistent, the people who find their genius level talent and actually commit to that and persevere. Those are the people who are considered the chosen ones, or what I consider a genius. And I want to tell you, each and every one of you watching this video are a genius. You are a genius. I'm a genius. You a genius. He a genius. They're a genius, because that's the way God created us, right? If God created you, you are a genius by nature. Anything that He created is a genius, and I want to let y'all know that. So with that being said, we're gonna dive right into it, man. So the first sign, your courage, right? Your courage. So with that being said, is you understand that the ultimate power of bravery, right? The ultimate power of bravery. You have to be brave when you're trying to do something in life, doing the abnormal. People view it as peculiar. They think that whatever you're doing, this is out your league, right? But you have to have the courage and the bravery to say, you know what? Forget y'all, man. I ain't worried about what y'all got going on. This is what I'm doing, right? Look, going back to that same quote, a genius finds his own road, right? And it carries its own lamp. Which means I don't need nobody to come here and look with me. Look, I'm going to find my own road. I'm going to carry my own lamp, and I'm going to go down this road. And if there's nothing right here, guess what? I'm going to keep going until I find something. If there's nothing right here, I'm going to keep going until I find something. So with that being said, what is that something that you're wanting to do, but you're afraid to do it? right? What is that? What is that something that you're afraid to do and you want to do it, but you're afraid to do it, right? That's your genius level talent, right? By having a sense of courageousness. You gotta be courageous. You have to be courageous, right? Number 2, drive. Anybody know when you get inside of a car, what it does? It drives, right? Whenever that engine is the drive that set that car apart from all the other parts. That engine is the part that set that car from all the other parts. Like it set it different. It's what differentiate the other pieces to that car. An engine is what allows it to drive. It's the engine. What is your motor? Right? What is your motor? So with that being said, you got to have that drive. You got to have that ambition. You have to. You got to have that drive and the ambition. That drive is what's going to wake you up in the morning without an alarm clock, as ET states. You have to wake up without an alarm clock. And even if you do utilize your alarm clock, that should not be the guideline of whether you're going to wake up or not. You should be getting up anyway. The alarm clock should just be there just for secondary uses. That's it, right? You got to have that drive. Right. Number 3, goals. Right. All geniuses set goals. You have to have goals set in place. What are your long-term and what are your short-term goals? Bottom line. What are your long-term and what are your short-term goals? And the thing is, your goals don't have to be, like Warren Buffett's. Your goal doesn't have to be like Elon Musk. It doesn't have to be like Mark Zuckerberg. The list goes on. It don't have to be like any of these guys. But what does have to be like these guys is your goals, right? And what I mean by goals is like you have to set goals, right? You have to set goals. You don't have to be exactly like them, but you need to have goals like them, right? Number 4, man, knowledge. You want to make yourself knowledgeable. How do I make myself knowledgeable, Reno? You got to read books. Okay, cool. You're not a reader. You want to listen to books. You want to listen to podcasts. It's all about what are you consuming? What are you consuming in your mind? So a lot of us, we want to be fitness gurus and, the whole nine. But at the same time, what are you feeding your mind? What are you putting inside your mind? So for me, just to be transparent with y'all, as y'all see, I wrote 4 books. I'm working on the 5th, right? So I'm very, intellectual, articulate, especially in vocab is, extremely broadened, right? As far as myself, I'm just being transparent with y'all. But I also read. I wouldn't be able to write these books. The knowledge had to come from somewhere. I wouldn't be able to write these books if I didn't read. So you gotta read. So I read about every day. Realistically, I read about 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. Whether that's me literally reading, or whether that's me listening to podcasts, or whether that's me, any other form of consuming information. That's what I do, right? I read. I listen to podcasts every day. It's not a day that I don't listen to a podcast, or it's not a day that I don't listen to something informative, right? Whether that's a lecture, whether that's a preacher, one of my favorite preachers, or, somebody who's carrying an enormous amount of wisdom, knowledge. So I learn from it. And again, going back to plagiarizing and being inspired. So for me, I don't plagiarize. I get inspired, right? So I may see something and I may paraphrase it and utilize it for my own good. And I give it to my audience, right? So, that's what I do. So I'm just trying to encourage y'all, man. Y'all gotta make yourself knowledgeable. That's how you're gonna become powerful, right? The next one, optimism. So when you're optimistic, nothing can stop your grind. Nothing can stop you. You got a positive attitude. You got to stay optimistic. So see, the thing is, in life, bad things are gonna happen. Bad things are gonna happen. It is what it is. It's gonna happen. Your car may break down, a tire may bust, your girlfriend may leave you, you know what I'm saying? Your boyfriend may leave you, whatever the case, you may get a divorce. These are real life things. People are gonna die. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on of doom and gloom. But on your way to success and on your journey, to being wealthy, you're gonna have these times. You're gonna lose friends. People are gonna betray you. It is what it is. But you gotta keep pushing. You gotta stay optimistic. You gotta stay positive. Yes, it's okay, to get in a little funk for a little bit. It's okay, but it shouldn't last over 24 hours. Right? And honestly, you giving too much with 24 hours, right? Because some people be like, yeah, it shouldn't last more than 30 minutes, right? But I believe in us being human beings, and I think that you shouldn't give it more than a day. You shouldn't give it more than a day. Like, and even within that day, you're not sitting here just being, you know, in the state of depression, despondency, doom and gloom. No, you're not doing that. But what you are doing is sitting back, contemplating, you know, on your next moves, your mistakes, learning from your mistakes. How can I get better from this? Whatever the case is, so on and so on, right? That next day, you should be moving. You should be up and running. You should be moving. You should be focusing on your gift, your craft, you know, something else that other than that negativity, right? The next one, enthusiasm. And people don't understand the difference between optimistic and enthusiasm. So optimistic is just the point of just being, you know, positive. Enthusiasm is an energy. It's the energy behind it. You know, even though positive is an energy as well, but when you're enthused, you're more so prone to want to do something. It's the energy that comes behind it, right? You understand what I'm saying? The next one, integrity. Who are you as a person? Your morals, right? Your character. Who are you as an individual? Can money buy you? Can you be bribed? Can someone, you know, take you around the corner and give you this amount of money and make you do this for it and make you do that for it? Who are you? Do you have integrity? Right? That's a big thing. The next one, judgment. Right? You have to utilize your judgment, and most people call it the gift of discernment. Your judgment. So whether you're judging how well your craft is, whether you're judging the person, whether you're judging, you know, something that happened in your day, but you have to have good judgment. You know, being able to judge something shows how well you have discernment. Right? You have to be able to judge something. Period. Right? And these are the signs of being a genius. So here's the thing. You may not have all 20, but if you at least got 10, you good. You in good shape. I would definitely say a good 10, you are in good shape. So keep that in mind, man. So I'm gonna keep going, y'all. Y'all follow along with me. Follow along with me. All right, cool. So risk taker. This right here is a big one. This is a big one for me because all geniuses are risk takers. So going back to Elon Musk, took a risk. Created Tesla, right? Steve Jobs took a risk, created Apple, right? Bill Gates took a risk, right? I mean, even these rappers, they taking risk. You know, they may not be the risk that you, the idea risk that you want to take, but they're still taking the risk, right? And I'm not excusing this, not one bit, because I'm actually disappointed in the rapper community. You know, being that you are getting an opportunity to put yourself in a better position and the others around you, and you're still doing street stuff, right? You still in the streets doing certain things, and don't get me wrong, we got some talented rappers, we got some talented rappers, but at the same time, it's time to shift that energy and put it towards something positive. And it's not to say that they don't want to be positive, but I would definitely say that some of these situations they don't got to be in, right? But you know, we're not gonna get into that. That'll be another podcast of surrounding yourself around the right individuals. But what I do want to say is we still on the 20 signs of of a genius. So if you got 10 of these signs, man, you are definitely in a good position. So follow along with me, right? Okay, so you want to be noble. A lot of people don't understand what noble is. So noble is being humble, right? Noble is being humble. You want to be a humble individual. Just be humble, right? Like a humble beast. You don't got to tell nobody that you humble. You don't got to tell nobody that you sitting back, you chilling. You don't got to tell nobody about your Mercedes Benz. You don't got to tell them that you got 2 million, 5, 10, 100 million in the bank. You don't got to tell them that, right? But they gonna know it by your demeanor. They gonna know it by how you move. You a humble beast. Beauty and the Beast. I'm sure everybody's seen it. If he was to walk around as a, in human clothes and the whole nine, and he's still in beast form before he transmuted into a human. If he did that, look, he don't gotta tell nobody he's a beast. They gonna see it when they look at him. And that's the same thing with you. You don't gotta run and tell everybody, I'm a beast, I'm a this, I'm that. You don't gotta tell nobody that. They see it when they look at you. They see it in your presence. They feel it, through your presence. They see it whenever you come around, right? So you want to be noble. The next one, energetic. Most geniuses are energetic. They got these ideas just bouncing off. They find themselves doing things, all the time. And here's the thing, you can be busy doing nothing. So don't get that misconstrued. But what I'm saying is, be busy doing something, right? Not busy doing nothing, but busy doing something. Next one, eloquent, right? So eloquent is the ability to persuade or get someone to do something, right? You're able to, persuade through your words or persuade through speaking to someone, but that's eloquent. A lot of geniuses have that ability. Now, for me personally, I think that you can still be a genius, right? I think that you can still be a genius and not be as eloquent, because you can pay someone to do that. You can pay someone to do that. Like, you create a big product. So take, for instance, Steve Jobs, right? Let's say Steve Jobs say, you know what, I'm not as eloquent, but what I can do is get this message to someone who can, right? I can get someone who can. Maybe my brother can speak for me. Maybe, I can get someone who went to school with me, but, it's a plus if you have it, right? So the next one, articulate. So eloquent and articulate is very similar. So one, you're persuading. This is an ability, right? Articulate is an ability as well, but it's how well you speak, not necessarily persuading or convincing, but just being able to articulate a message, being able to express a message, right? Like, you're not trying to convince, you're not trying to persuade, but what you are doing is expressing yourself very vocally and intelligently. So that's articulate, right? Next one, moving on, y'all. All right, so patient. If you are a genius, most geniuses understand the art of being patient. Now, I don't care if you're a genius or not. And I would definitely say this is one of the most important characteristics that you gotta have. You gotta have patience. And we're living in a time where people want instant gratification. Like, people want instant gratification. They see somebody else on social media, they want that. They see somebody else on social media, they want to do what they doing. No, you got to do what you doing, right? You got to write your story, how God wants you to write your story. Don't write it how someone else wants you to write it. So I want you all to understand, man, you got to be patient. You got to stay down while coming up. Somebody said the realest thing to me, man, and it went like this. They was like, I was willing to starve while everybody else eat. And that was deep to me. I was willing to starve while everybody else eat, right? That take another level of patience. Shout out to Mr. 2 Weeks out, man, for sure. But the next one, y'all, perfectionist. This is one of them things where I'm like, you really don't have to have this, long as you are a person who don't throw anything together, right? So being a perfectionist, this is like, your OCD people, individuals who just I'm not gonna say take their craft over, serious, but just the people who really want their craft to be perfect. I think long as you work hard, long as you stay consistent, persistent, I think that you have the ability to be excellent, right? Nobody on this earth is perfect, right? But I think that you have the ability to be excellent. But with that being said, being a perfectionist is definitely one of the ones as far as research goes. And I would say if you have that, then it's a plus. For sure, it's a plus, right? So moving on. Flexible. You got to be able to move around. Like, you can't stay in one area, one box. No, don't let nobody box you. Be flexible. Be able to maneuver, right? You want to be able to maneuver. Be flexible. Next one. Sense of humor. And what I mean by sense of humor, y'all, you want to be able to laugh at some of the things that's going to happen, because things will happen. And what I mean by things that's going to happen, people are going to finesse you. People are going to lie to you. People are going to tell you that, you're really paying for this, but really you just got finessed again. It's so many things that's going to happen. So you got to be able to have a sense of humor. And Dick Gregory stated this thing. He said that your body, produces an oil and a gas. So he said it produces a gas when you're despondent, when you're feeling low vibrational, when you're sad, when you're mad. That is producing a gas. But he said when you laugh, it pinches a nerve in the body. And when you pinch that nerve in the body, it allows your body to produce this oil, which keeps you, looking good, looking young, right? A lot of people say black don't crack, but honestly, it's because we laugh a lot. You know what I'm saying? But on a real note, on a serious note, laughing actually is healthy for you. So anytime you get, watch you some Martin, watch you some Richard Pryor, watch some of the greatest, comedians to ever do it, man, and get you some laughs in, man. But with that being said, y'all want to utilize the sense of humor that y'all have, for sure, right? The next one, and I got two more for y'all, right? And then we're gonna move on next. But the next one is inquisitive. Never stop asking the question why. Never stop asking the question why. And what I mean by never stop asking the question why, never stop asking questions. Never stop learning. Never think you know it all. Socrates said that all I know is I know nothing. All I know is I know nothing. One of the wisest men who ever lived and walked the earth, but he said all he know is that he know nothing. So never think that you know it all. Continuously learn. You can learn from a 2-month-old baby. You can learn from a homeless person, as well as you can learn from a billionaire, or you can learn from somebody who lost all their billions, got it back, and lost it again. Right? You can learn from so many people. So with that being said, stay inquisitive. Right? The next one, versatile. And that just basically means you want to utilize your versatility. You want to be able to, switch and it kind of go hand in hand with flexible, but you want to be able to be versatile, right? You want to write books, and again, I'm just giving y'all an example, but you want to write books, right? Do a podcast, be a social media influencer, have your own business in this area doing that, right? And you're going to build this platform and it's going to end up becoming a foundation, right? You want to be versatile. Don't allow anyone to just put you in one box. Don't allow anyone to place you in one box, because they definitely will do it, right? So understand the art of being versatile, and this is one of the signs as being a genius. And the last sign, man, and everybody got this, you got to be creative. You have to be creative. This is a big one. You wouldn't have your Kanye West if he wasn't creative. You wouldn't have your Steve Jobs if he wasn't creative, right? You wouldn't have, the artists, T.I., Ludacris, the new artists, Lil Baby, the Baby, right? You wouldn't have these artists if they wasn't creative. You have to use your ability to be creative. You have to be innovative. We are all great. We are all geniuses, and we all have the ability to create, and that's something that you want to do. You want to be able to create, right? Just take yourself outside your body and just start thinking of these ideas, right? If you have to sit by a beach, do that. If you got to go, take a walk, do that. If you got to go to the park, do that. If you got to go work out, do that. But stay creative, right? So that's the 20 signs of a genius, man. And like I said, if y'all got 10 of these, y'all in great shape. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been watching my podcast, I have a segment on one way to make $1 million, and we're gonna get directly into it. Touro. One way to make $1 million is Touro. So a lot of people don't understand what Touro is. So Touro is this platform that allows you to lend cars out, right? So it's like a car lending company on someone else's platform, which is cool, right? I do think that if we were able to build our own platform, as a community, as a collective, right, it would definitely be good. But at the same time, we have millionaires and billionaires, people who have became successful from this particular thing. So I want to give y'all a few tips and pointers, and y'all can do y'all due diligence as well and do some research as well. But I just want to be able to spark the brain, right? So with that being said, Touro, a car lending company, right? So if y'all already have cars, 3-4 cars, you can easily utilize those 4 cars and lend them for $300 a piece, right? That's $1,200 a month. That's $1,200 a month, right? Now, for those who don't have a car, I would definitely say get an LLC. Right, so you can utilize your LLC to get cars from a dealership. And this is why people say don't put anything in your name. You want to use your business for everything. Build your business credit, get that LLC and utilize that LLC to get your cars. And once you get your cars, have a proven plan on how to pay for it. So you don't want to just use the LLC and you don't have a way to pay for the cars, and you hoping that, well, if I get this particular car, I gotta depend on this Touro. Anything that you do, it's not going to be an overnight process. It could be 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, 2 years. Who knows? Just depending on your consistency and the things that you're doing to promote your business. But with that being said, you can utilize your LLC to grab your cars. Right? Once you grab your cars, have a proven way to pay for the car, right? Have a proven way to pay for the car. And once you do that, now you created yourself passive income. You have created yourself passive income. So I know y'all wondering, how can we make $1 million off of this, Reno? Well, I'm finna tell you. So number one, you want to grab you 4 cars, right? That's going to be $300 per car. And make sure that the value of these cars are $300 as well, because value is the most important thing, right? Value is the most important thing, and that's with anything. But once you get that, 4 times 300, that's $1,200, right? Well, you want to multiply that same effort 10 times. So I don't mean addition 1200 plus 10. No, I mean whatever you did to make 1200 in that month, multiply that by 10. That's going to give you $12,000. Well, you're going to do the same thing. Nothing special. Multiply those same efforts. Not 12,000 plus 10, but 12,000 times 10. You want to make that times 10, which means make 12,000 10 times. The same thing you did to make 12,000, right? And guess what? You're going to do the same exact thing to make $120,000. And guess what? Once you get to that $120,000 mark, you may need help. You may need more cars, whatever the case is. But guess what? Multiply that same effort and you're going to make $1,200,000, right? Now, it may sound easy, it may sound hard, but all I know is for you to do is get to work. That's it. Get to work. So with that being said, y'all, man, I want y'all to understand, y'all are great, y'all are geniuses. Anybody can become a millionaire. Anybody. All you got to do is put the work in. All you got to do is persist, consist, persevere, and endure. And remember, the race is not to the swift nor to the strong, but it's to the one who endures through the end. So with that being said, man, I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. I appreciate everybody who's, tuning into the podcast, coming from TikTok or wherever you came from. But understand that this is the hub of Wealthy Minds. I love every single one of y'all. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.